Hey guys, Tom here. This is a little bit of a different one today because at the moment there seems to be some sort of an occasion for just about everything, and this week is actually National Fragrance Week. So yesterday I set up the studio in my living room and I'd done a review of some Scentsy products. Now these are fragrance release products, kind of like Yankee candles, only these use light bulbs with decorative shades and a little holder on top in which you put wax melts and they release a fragrance using the heat from the light bulb alone. So if you're not interested in watching a product review of this kind of thing, you might want to skip this one, even though it does tie in with the theme of Fragrance Week. Let me know what you think, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks very much for watching this far anyway, and I'll catch you in the next one. Laters. So here we are, and you'll notice everything looks a bit different. I needed a bit more space to do this today. So what we're actually looking at are some products by Scentsy. These are a flame-free sort of aroma, sort of kind of like the candle aroma things you get. They have wax melts in them, but these are completely flame-free. They actually use a light bulb. So in the interest of disclosure, I haven't been paid or sponsored to do this video. This is called a borrow basket, and it was actually given to me by a local Scentsy consultant. So she's passed on some of these products just for me to do an honest review of. So I haven't opened anything that's in here yet. I have been given some instructions as to how to set this all up, but I genuinely haven't opened any of this yet. So I'm going to go through and do a quick unboxing, nothing special. We're going to take a look at what's actually in the basket, and we'll plug it in and we'll give it a little time for the wax to melt, and we'll see how it sort of smells. So let's get on with it. So first of all, in the basket I've been given this little, well, it's a plastic bag, and it's full of some of the, what is this? Some of the wax. Yeah, some of the wax scents you can actually put into the warmer itself. So this one's a coconut vanilla. There's loads of them in here. I'm just going to take them all out. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so I just tipped all of these scents out now. These are in like little plastic containers, and I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with them, so I'm going to have to look that up and find out what they actually are. But yeah, there's, how many is here? 5, 10. There's 13 of these here altogether, all different smells, from citrus rosemary, pink tulips, coconut lemongrass, jammy thyme. Yeah, I suppose they're kind of similar to like Yankee candles. That, you know, same kind of thing. It's all scent sort of stuff. Yeah, yeah, they're all good. Anyway, let's go on to this next little pouch. So these are the ones that I know you put into the little warming tray above the lamp, and the wax melts on that low heat of the bulb. So rather than a flame, it actually just heats over the heat of a bulb. So yeah, we've got these little sort of little tablet, sort of wax tablet type things here. Which one's this? Oh, that one smells lovely. That's vanilla bean buttercream, and that really does smell good. I think I might be trying that one later. That smells lovely. We have pink haze and lemon thyme berry as well, and the two here, the lemon thyme berry and the pink haze, are actually in the shape of little butterflies. So the actual wax things themselves are a little decorative until they melt, obviously, and then you're just left with a pile of wax. So but yeah, this vanilla bean one actually smells really good, so I think we'll try that one later. So let's clear this off here, and I'll get out one of the warmers. Okay, so the first box I'm going to open is going to be this Stargaze warmer. So like I said, I haven't opened this yet, so I've no idea what's actually in here. I know it's the warmer and probably a plate. The plug is actually here, so I'm assuming there's not one in this box because there's one in the basket with this. So let's just open this up and we'll have a quick look at what's in here. Let's see what it looks like. So first thing is, we have got some instructions. I may actually have to have a read of the instructions because, like I said, I don't know exactly how this works. So this, I believe, is our warming plate. I think this sits on top of the actual like decorative bulb holder. So I think the wax goes in there. So put that there. Warmer ring inside, so there's something else in here. Oh, so, okay. So this goes on the top of the, I'm assuming this goes on top of the lampshade, and then I think the dish kind of sits in there somehow. We'll figure that out. Let's have a look. Okay, so yeah, inside the plug's there in the basket. So inside we've just got a bulb. I'm not going to touch the bulb because if these are anything like other bulbs, sometimes you can actually damage the filament with your fingerprints on the bulb. I don't know, I'm just being careful because I doubt there's a spare. So yeah, wrapped up in here should be, wow. That's cool. So it looks kind of like a basic silver, like a glass, like lampshade. It looks like it's got depth. It's got this kind of purple and pinky sort of, like almost a holographic look to it. Yeah, it looks kind of cool. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like. So how do I, what else have we got? So, oh, this is the base. Okay, so it's just the shade. I think this goes, yeah, I think that goes on there like that. Yeah, okay. So inside this other box is the base, the warmer itself, or the lamp holder, I suppose, the bulb holder. So let's open this up. Okay, so, yeah, okay. What does this say on it? Cement base. So I think by the look of it, it's modular, possibly. Because this is actually separate from the shade, so I'm assuming you can pick whatever sort of base you want. Let's put this bulb in, and then we'll turn it on, put the thing on and see what it looks like with that. Okay, so I've screwed the bulb in now. I just had a quick look at the instructions to find out what it is, and it actually just says to use a maximum of a 40-watt Edison bulb. E14s, it says it on the base as well, so it's one of the like mini threaded bulbs, so these are easily replaceable in any sort of hardware store or supermarket or whatever, so you shouldn't have any problem changing these. So yeah, I'm just going to plug it in and then I'll put the shade on and we'll turn it on. Okay, so I've got it all set up, I've got it plugged in, and I'm going to turn the bulb on right now, and we're going to see what this shade actually looks like first of all. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, it's kind of like that that old Windows screensaver where all the stars are shooting towards you. So it kind of looks like that. It's got, yeah, sort of a pink hue, a pink, and the bulb is kind of giving off obviously an orangey cream kind of light. So from what I can see at the moment, this is more of a pinky sort of color. I thought it would be more purple than it actually is, but I'm just going to turn it around and check that I'm not missing anything. And I'll turn the lights, the studio lights off in a second as well, so we can maybe get a better idea of what this actually looks like. Okay, so I've turned one of the studio lights off, so you probably can't even see me really at the moment, but yeah, it's definitely got sort of a pink hue to it. I'm just going to pick it up again and have a quick look. Yeah, it's kind of more pink than anything, but the actual effect itself is really impressive. Actually, it's kind of more like one of those infinity mirrors, you know, where you might have bulbs around the outside, and when you look into it, it goes on and on and on and on and kind of just reflects back into like a tunnel. So it kind of has that effect. So it does look really cool, you know, and if at eye level, when it's down here, you can't really see it. When you lift it to eye level, it's quite a stunning effect, really. It looks really good. So let's turn these lights back on. Okay. So that's out the way. So I'm gonna put the plate back on top, and I am going to put some wax in this now. I'm gonna have to leave it a little while to sort of warm up. I mean, I can feel some of the heat coming off there, and these are designed to melt on a low heat. So I'm going to choose that vanilla bean butterscotch, I think it was called, and I'm going to put that in there and sort of leave the room for a few minutes, come back and I'll see if I can immediately notice the smell as I walk in. But judging from what it smells like straight out of that little bag, it actually smells amazing, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so while we've got this all set up and it's lit up now, let's talk about some of the practical features of using a bulb to heat up the wax fragrance rather than a flame. Obviously, if you've got a flame, if you've got young children, obviously it can be dangerous, and also it sort of restricts, or it does restrict, where you can actually put these burners in your house. Obviously, a nice place to put them might be on a windowsill or a shelf, and obviously using a windowsill, if you're using a flame, curtains, not a good combination. Even if you put them on a shelf, even if you've maybe got a shelf above it, the heat rising into that shelf is probably not a good idea either. Low down, like I said, if you've got children and pets, obviously there's a fire risk, they could burn themselves. So using a contained bulb like this, the fact that it isn't burning for a start is really good. So yeah, the practical applications of actually using a bulb rather than an open flame seems like a really good idea in a safety aspect, and the fact that it just works. It's great. You could put this in multiple places around your home. So the option to of where you want to place this is going to be really open and up to you. The wax is nearly melted now. There's still a little bit to go, but I noticed actually it started to heat up and melt really quickly while it was when I first put it in there. It isn't hot at all, the actual base, but so yeah, I mean this whole low heat thing works really well. But yeah, what I've done, I feel really stupid to be honest, because I just looked up what these plastic containers actually are, and you can't actually use them. They are literally just a sample. Hello, hello, come here then. Come here. Come up here with me. Come and see. What do you think of this? Like that one? No, not fussed on that one. And come sit by here a minute. Let's stick it there. Okay. Good girl. So yeah, these are just sample fragrances. Basically, you can use them. They are there just for you to know what is available for you to buy. So I've kind of organised them. There are, I think, 4 or 5. I've organised them basically into the ones I actually like. I've left a few in the bag because they're just not for me. So my favourite ones. This Just Breathe I've kind of left alone on its own, just because as soon as I opened it and smelled it, it is very, I think, minty. I think that's the way I want to describe it. It's got kind of like a menthol sort of smell to it. I like it, and I'm assuming that's why it's called Just Breathe, which really, if it is sort of a menthol thing, then it kind of makes sense. In terms of the most realistic smell, I have to go with this Fresh Cut Daisies. Simply because as soon as I smelled it, it literally smells exactly like fresh cut daisies. All of these smells, you know, like a smell is a really good sense of kind of taking you back to like a previous time when you were younger and things. Like it creates this sense of nostalgia, and a few of these really do that for me. Especially this, it reminds me of when I think I was a teenager and I used to hang around, and we used to sort of go skateboarding down, and we'd hang around in parks and fields and things. And it literally reminds me of the smell of like fresh cut daisies. I can't even say fresh cut grass because it smells like daisies. So that's all I can say. I won't go too much into how I know what a daisy smells like, but yeah, that is really realistic. I've got 2 coconut ones over here. I've got coconut vanilla orchid and coconut lemongrass. So the vanilla orchid, it's not the ones I've picked out. I don't think are too overpowering, especially being a bloke. You know, you don't want your house smelling like, I don't know, roses or whatever, you know, whatever it might be all day. So they're not musky or anything in particular, but they're not overpoweringly sweet. So yeah, I kind of like that that coconut vanilla orchid, and the coconut lemongrass is definitely stronger. And it done that thing again, and that literally instantly took me back to me and my wife's honeymoon in Mexico when we visited the spa for free. And for some reason, it must be a combination of like the coconut oil and probably some lemongrass health juice or something that they were serving there. But yeah, that definitely that's another good one that I like. Summer Sunshine. This instantly reminded me of being back down in Cornwall, putting sun cream on at the beach, and it's not coconutty, but it really does kind of smell like I don't know, like a sun cream for some reason, or like, I don't know, it reminds me of my holidays. Coastal Strawberry is another nice smell. It's not overly sweet strawberry either. Jammy Time. Yeah, that's probably sort of, I would say, that the muskiest of the lot. It kind of smells like when you just had a nice shower before you go to bed. And I suppose that it amazes me that it actually smells like the name it has been given, because jammy time could mean anything. When I initially saw this, I actually thought it might be like a jam smell, but no. I think we're talking like shower at night, sort of clean shower, you put your pajamas on kind of smell. Newborn nursery, obviously a really soft sort of scent. And it really is quite talcum powdery, but again, I like it. I wouldn't use it personally, but I think it's actually quite a nice smell. Poppy here, sometimes when she actually gets her hair cut, she gets a little bit of baby powder sort of spritz perfume stuff on it, so I suppose it kind of reminds me of that. Citrus rosemary. Now this one again is quite strong, being a citrus, but and honestly, I mean, I'd forgotten what it smelled like, but that I have no idea why. But me and my wife went to Las Vegas in 2016, and we stayed in the Hard Rock Hotel. And as soon as I smelled this, I thought Hard Rock Hotel. It's not as bad as it seems. It doesn't smell like alcohol and cigarettes or something, but the Hard Rock Hotel smells like that. So to me, that is kind of like a rock and roll smell, and I can't explain it, but that's just what it reminds me of. So yeah, I've got how many there? There's 9 there, and they're my favorite of the bunch. I think these 5 here I set out as my favorite, and all of them in some way, I suppose, that they either smell exactly like they're supposed to smell, or they do invoke like such a sense of nostalgia. It's incredible, to be honest. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna pop out for a few minutes. I'm gonna come back in. This is fully melted now, so I need to clear my nasal passages a little bit before I come in and smell this. But like I said, I'll get my wife to have a look as well, or have a smell, and I'll see what she thinks, and I'll ask her opinion on the actual shade as well, and see if she likes this kind of thing. So I've just come back in. I did bring my wife with me to check this as well. And before we even got into the room, somewhere out in the kitchen, we could actually already smell the fragrance coming off this. Now, I didn't tell my wife, you're going to have to trust me on this, but I didn't tell my wife what I'd actually put into the, what fragrance I'd actually used in here. And as she walked in, she said, "Oh, it smells like vanilla." And I said, "Well, it is. It's vanilla bean buttercream." That's a mouthful, try saying that fast 3 times. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the scents, they're bang on. They really do smell as per their description, so there's no complaints from that. And the other thing we both agreed on immediately was that although you could smell it and it was really nice, it isn't like an overpowering smell. And obviously with any sort of smell, you are going to get used to it after time, which is really good that they've got so many different varieties of fragrance available for these. Now, like I said, they kind of remind me of any sort of fragrance you can get, such as Yankee Candles. They're like one of the most popular brands out there, and I mean, I myself, we love those, especially at Christmas when you can get the mulled wine and the Christmas spices kind of smells. It really does give a nice atmosphere to rooms in your house. The biggest drawback with those is, again, it comes down to price. They're so expensive to buy. If you want one of the large ones or larger ones, I think they're like £20 per candle. The ones we picked up just before Christmas were actually reduced, which is the only reason we really picked them up. Now, we have used tea lights in the past, and obviously this is another advantage to using a bulb-based fragrance device like this. You don't have to keep buying those little candles all the time. I know you can pick them up fairly cheaply, but still, it's aggro. If you run out, you know, you're stuck until you buy more candles. Whereas with this, you can just plug it in. As long as you've got a fragrance with you, you just pop it in the dish there, and away you go. You've got a room smelling perfect. The only thing I don't know is how long these fragrances actually last. I do know that when you're done with it, you can empty the dish in numerous ways. So one of which is you can wait for it to cool down, and you can sort of scoop it out. You can get cotton wool balls and pop them into the liquid wax, and they'll soak it up, and you can just dispose of them that way. Or you could just pour it away. I wouldn't suggest pouring it down a drain, just in case it sort of cools and clogs the drain up. But yeah, I mean, you can dispose of this really easily. It's just melted wax. I suppose you could even try making your own candles out of it or something if you were that way inclined. But yeah, it's really simple to use. Literally just set it up as I did, plug it in, pop a fragrance in there, and away you go. Overall, I think they're great. I think that the scents some of the best, and I'm not just saying that, I genuinely mean that. Like I said, the different fragrances in the pack there, they all gave me some different sense of nostalgia, and they all immediately in one way or another brought back different memories from previous years in my life. There are obviously some downsides to these, one of which obviously is that you've got to plug it in. Obviously you're going to have that cable running from wherever you want to put it. If you've got a good setup somewhere, obviously you can disguise it. So in that sort of sense, the fact that the cable needs to run to it, that is kind of one of the negative points about it. The only other thing really that I think is genuinely would be an issue for me about purchasing one of these is the cost, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, it's a solid piece of equipment. The base is really well constructed. The shade itself is a nice sort of thick glass shade, which I wouldn't say is scrimped on quality at all. The dish itself is perfect for what it needs to do, and it is again, a fairly thick piece of glass. Obviously, if you drop it, you're likely to smash it, but overall, it looks really solidly constructed. It's easy to put together. It's easy to use. But yeah, the overall cost of this setup, I think I'll have to check actually. Hang on, £55. I think that includes the base according to the picture as well. The other great thing about Scentsy products is that this catalogue is full, literally full of different designs. This isn't the only kind you can get either. Like I said before, there are mini versions of this which have got a plug directly attached to the actual diffuser or whatever they call it. They are smaller than this, and I haven't got everything with me, so I'm not going to look through it to find out how exactly all of them work. But I think one of the most expensive ones in here is £61. Like I said, this one's £55. And they do go down to just over £30 for some of the models. My favourite one, which I said was the Globe, I think that's £61. So it is a little bit high for me personally, but the fact that it is a safer product and you're not going to need to keep buying those little tea light candles, I think that those benefits are kind of balancing out with it. And like I said, looks like it is a quality made product. I can't see any real problem with it at all. It's a sturdy product, it's got weight to it, and it seems really well constructed. So I think the cost is justified in that way, but it's whether or not you personally want to spend that on a home fragrance device. Me and my wife personally use the battery operated automatic Airwick spray can things, where you pop a spray can into it and it's every however long it sprays a mist of scent wherever you've got one. We've got two in the house. We've got one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom, and to be fair, we have to refill them a lot, and we're only using them on the lowest setting. There are 3 different settings inside those things. You can have it really frequently, less frequently, or really infrequently. So the fact that you've got to keep rebuying those at such an expense and so frequently as well, again, it kind of offsets and it justifies the cost of buying one of these. And again, this is so decorative. I mean, genuinely, when you get to eye level with this thing, it looks amazing. From where I'm sat now, it kind of all merges into one. It doesn't look so hot, but again, I'm not going to lift it up because I've got the wax melting in the thing. But I mean, if you come down to eye level with that, say if you put it on a mantelpiece or something like that and plugged it in a socket around the corner, it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. It really does look like an infinity mirror. And as I said, loads of designs in the catalogue itself. So, I mean, there's something for everyone in there. I may invest in the Globe one for my office upstairs or my usual studio space, because I just think it looks really cool. Either that or the black chest piece, the Knight, because I just think it would fit really well on my shelf. I think they do battery operated ones as well, or they're called Scentsy to go. I'm not entirely sure how they work. I'll have to look it up. But because we're talking about this particular one, I'm not going to go into too much about the rest of them. But my overall thoughts are, is it worth it? Yes, because it's a fantastic product. It's really well made. The scents themselves, as I said, are absolutely fantastic. They genuinely do smell great. They're exactly as described. Even if the description is somewhat of a metaphor for the way they actually smell, it makes perfect sense. So I can honestly say they are some of the best smelling sort of oils, wax diffusion sort of things I've ever smelt. So yes, for that reason, and no only if you can justify the initial cost, because it's not like you can just go out and go, oh look, that looks really nice, I think I'll buy one. You do have to make a conscious decision when you're spending that sort of money. But I mean, that's totally up to you. As a product, I can totally say I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with it. I think it's fantastic, and like I said, I think I'll probably end up buying one of these for myself, and if I do, I'll make sure I let you know in a future video. So I'm going to move it around the room and see where it would be best to place one in my living room, which is where I am now. So yeah, in conclusion, great product. Again, I haven't been paid or anything to say any of this. I'm trying to give a fair and honest opinion as a first-time user using this product. So the decision's up to you. But the fact that it's Mother's Day on Sunday, if you've got enough time, maybe go out and buy one for your mum. Who knows, you know, she might really appreciate it. And like I said, it is a fantastic product. So yeah, have a think about it. Get in touch with your local consultant. I'll put a link to the person who's actually given me this kit, so that you can go and see what she's available to offer you from her personal sales page. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's been fun and enlightening. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed it and you want to watch other videos that I do, hit that subscribe button down below. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the review, and if you think it was fair and honest. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment, or get in touch with the person in the link that I'm going to leave in the description below. But again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Laters.